Whoever they are, the would-be assassins, according to Acts, are thwarted by the sudden and opportune appearance of Paul's hitherto unmentioned nephew, who somehow learns of their plot. This relative, of whom we know nothing more, informs both Paul and the Romans that night. Paul is removed for his own safety from Jerusalem. He is removed with an escort of 470 troops, 200 infantry under the command of two centurions, 200 spearmen, and 70 cavalry. He is taken to Caesarea, the Roman capital of Judea, where he appears before the governor and Rome's puppet king, Agrippa. As a Roman citizen, however, Paul has a right to have his case heard in Rome, and he invokes this right. As a result, he is sent to Rome ostensibly for trial. There is no indication of what he will be tried for. After recounting his adventures on the journey, including a shipwreck, Acts ends, or rather, it breaks off as if the author were interrupted in his work, or as if someone had removed the original. Ending and inserted a perfunctory finale instead. There are, of course, numerous later traditions that Paul was imprisoned, that he obtained a personal audience with the emperor, that he was freed and went to Spain, that Nero ordered his execution, that he encountered Peter in Rome or in prison in Rome, that he and Peter were executed together, but neither in Acts nor in any other reliable document is there a basis for any of these stories. Perhaps the original ending of Acts was indeed excised or altered. Perhaps Luke, the author, simply did not know what happened next, and not being concerned with aesthetic symmetry, simply allowed himself to conclude lamely. Or perhaps, as Eisenman has suggested, and this possibility will be considered later, Luke did know but deliberately cut short his narrative, or was cut short by later editors, in order to conceal his knowledge. The last sections of Acts from the riot inspired in the temple are muddled, confused and riddled with unanswered questions elsewhere. However, Acts is ostensibly simple enough. On one level, there is the narrative of Paul's conversion and subsequent adventures, but behind this account looms a chronicle of increasing friction between two factions within the original community in Jerusalem. The early church, one of these factions, consists of hardliners who echo the teachings of Qumranic texts and insist on rigorous observance of the law. The other, exemplified by Paul and his immediate supporters, want to relax the law, and by making it easier for people to join the congregation, to increase the number of new recruits. The hardliners are less concerned with numbers than with doctrinal purity, and seem to have only a cursory interest in events or developments outside Palestine, nor do they display any desire for an accommodation with Rome. Paul, on the other hand, is prepared to dispense with the doctrinal